you. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Route of egress. In the event of an emergency, all people may exit right or left from this room and proceed to an exit door. All doors will open from the inside. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Haledon Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published in the North Jersey Record Herald News, the board's official newspaper, on January 10th, 2024. Notices of this meeting indicating date, time, and place were posted publicly on the door of the main entrance to the school and filed with the clerk in the municipality of Haledon. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi? Mr. Coletta? Ms. Quadrado? Here. Mr. Guzman? Mr. Martinez?
Here.
Mr. Moxell?
Here.
Mr. Ramadan?
Here.
Dr. Webb?
Here.
And Mrs. Issa?
Here. Okay. Can I have a motion to move correspondence? And I'm just going to ask, since I'm remote today, board members, please, if you motion or second, just call out your name so I know who's motioning and who's seconding. So can I have a motion to move correspondence?
Rafael.
Okay.
Good job, Ravi. Carlos Moxell.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Martinez and seconded by Mr. Motzko. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Moxell?
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan?
Yes.
Dr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Issa?
Yes. Okay, can I have a motion to approve prior minutes?
Moxell. Martinez.
Moved by Mr. Motzko, seconded by Mr. Martinez. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Moxell?
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan?
Stay.
Dr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Issa?
Yes. Okay, can I have a motion to open the floor to citizens on agenda items only?
Webb.
Quadrado.
Okay, so moved by Dr. Webb, seconded by Ms. Quadrado. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the floor is open to citizens on agenda items only. Is there anybody, Mr. Miller?
No. Don't see any hands.
Okay, can I have a motion to close?
Moxell. Webb.
Okay, moved by Mr. Motzko, seconded by Dr. Webb. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to committee reports. I will begin. Good evening, everyone. I needed to attend tonight's board meeting remotely as I'm away from home. I also want to mention that school board member Mr. Guzman had previously notified that he would not be present at tonight's meeting as he is celebrating his wedding anniversary, but he sends his heartfelt thoughts to the community. So I want to begin by expressing my deepest condolences to the family, friends, and teachers of Giselle Winter, whom the HPS family tragically lost this weekend. When something like this happens, it affects the entire community. The sadness and heartache take a long time to heal. I hope that this terrible occasion can help us all come together in love and support of each other and those closest to Giselle. I ask now for a moment of silence. Say a prayer, send out a positive or healing thought, or just have a quiet moment, whatever you feel comfortable with. But if we could just please observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Next, I want to also send condolences to the family of Emilio Tirano, a former member of HPS's custodial staff. Emilio retired just this past spring after being a part of the HPS family for 15 years. I would often run into Emilio at the school in the evening when I was here on PTA or school board business, and he was always helpful and kind. He served our school with dedication, professionalism, care, and kindness, and he will not be forgotten. Moving on, I want to thank Ms. Barrigan for her service and dedication to the students of Haledon Public School for the past 8 years. On behalf of the Haledon Board of Education, we wish her the best in her future endeavors. And lastly, as Thanksgiving is upon us, I want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to have served another year on the Haledon Board of Education, which is a real privilege. I thank CSA Waka and BA Augustin for their partnership in this endeavor. Their expertise, professionalism, and dedication make my job easy and make our board look good. I thank my fellow board members for being a part of this team and for caring. I thank our teachers who give so much of themselves to help our children learn and grow in a positive and nurturing environment. I thank our administration and staff who keep our school running in top form, providing a healthy, safe, and productive environment for our kids to thrive. And I thank our parents and families for making Haledon Public School what it is, a diverse, close-knit, and supportive community. I'm very grateful for all of you. And with that, I will turn it over to Chief School Administrator, Mr. Waka.
Thank you, Ms. Isa, and thanks for coming to us tonight from all the way in Colorado. We appreciate that. This past weekend, we experienced a tragedy in that one of our 8th grade students passed away. This loss resonated with students and staff and the entire school community. Now, this specific situation is a matter of confidential student information, so we don't want to get into anything specific, but I do want to let the board know certain pieces of information. We learned about this tragedy on Saturday evening, and our team mobilized and started planning for entry into the building this morning. Mr. Spizzato did a great job following all the protocols within our school security plan and organized grief counseling services to be available this entire week for both students and staff. These services were explained and reviewed last night at a Zoom meeting, and I want to thank Mayor Johnson for giving opening remarks. I want to thank Chief Daniele for also being part of that meeting, and Officer Clavo, and a myriad of other Haledon police officers. So I really appreciate that support from such an important part of the community. The meeting was also attended by the administrative team, the CST, our guidance, and leadership from our HEA association. Today, 106 different students and staff members elected to utilize the service and talk to the professional counselors about their grief. We thank the Passaic County Grief Counseling Services, and I also want to thank PCTI, who kindly sent us the assistance of their student assistance counselor. They didn't have to do that, but they asked and they volunteered, and we were happy to accept that kindness. And it helped because we had 106 students want to take advantage of this, so it means that they needed it. Tomorrow, we expect a number of students and staff that will receive these services to be slightly less. We're grateful to know that they'll be here the remainder of the week. Yesterday afternoon, all members of the school community were informed of this loss. They were also given a copy of the script that we use to address this sort of loss in our student population. This is part, again, like I said, this is part of our school safety model, and it's the same sort of verbiage we used in 2019 when we tragically lost a second grader to an asthma attack, and shortly afterwards, we lost Corrado to an automobile accident. I'm very proud of the collective efforts and attitudes of both our staff and our student body. I think they've done as good a job as possible, as could possibly be expected, having to navigate through the difficulties of not only grief, but of sudden loss. So that's the heavy part of my report tonight. I also do want to let the board know that we were able to have parent-teacher conferences today. We'll have them again tomorrow. And then we'll have one last early dismissal day on Wednesday for the Thanksgiving getaway. On December 18th, we will have our ribbon cutting ceremony. It'll be right on the second floor area of our new addition is. So we'll do that at 6:30. Phil from NorthJersey.com is coming, so it's gonna be nice to have some press, give some exposure to all the great efforts that were made in this expansion. And to Mr. Toronto, Emilio was a really good man. He worked in the mornings at Woodland Park School District, and then he'd work here in the evenings. His kindness and his work ethic were his defining characteristics, and he'll be missed. And Miss Garrigan is a great teacher. We're going to miss her. Sometimes you lose staff to other school districts. It's the first time I've ever lost a staff member because she's so good at her job. She's going to become an educational digital consultant for a major company. So I'm sure she'll do very well in that arena. But we're really grateful for the service. I think she was maybe one of the first teachers that was hired after I became the principal, so that Miss Garrigan, that was always special for me. So that's my report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Waka. Moving on to Business Administrator, Ms. Augustin.
Thank you, Madam President. My report tonight consists of information regarding our QSEC facility walk that was conducted on November 21st. Everything went well. The county VA commended the district on the class sizes and suggested minimal changes, such as posting the capacity number of that can fit in like the gymnasium. Other than that, the classroom were in great shape. The teachers worked with the maintenance team and the custodial staff to get everything ready for the walkthrough, and we'll get a final report from the county VA shortly after she reviewed all of our required documents. The district, we also, the superintendent and I and our facility manager met with our architect to update our long-range facility plan. That plan is where we sit down and look at the projects that we've done. We also look at some future projects for the district. Some of the projects that were discussed is the ongoing project to do the security festival in front of the entrance right here and right by the parking lot. We also discussed possible security features out there. We also discussed what rooms or classrooms needing additional HVAC and heating upgrades. And we talked about the parking lot side, the east side, putting a sidewalk on that area. That is still in discussion. We did a walkthrough and looked at the student bathrooms and see if there's some upgrades there. And we will also talk about some field improvements. Other than that, the meeting went well. We're going to wait for the architect to give us some numbers to see which projects are prioritized and what we will possibly do in the 25-20 school year. The agenda items on the agenda today, we have our financial reports that are on the agenda monthly. We have a revision of our June financial reports. We also have change orders from our architect, which is the final items for our project. We have our budget development calendar, which we will begin to start talking about the budget for the 25-26 school year very soon. And we have our carryover grants for IDEA and the ESSA grants that are in process of approval by the state. And that is my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Augustin. Do any board members have any questions for Ms. Augustin? Okay, then let's move on to our committee meetings. Personnel and Management, Mr. Martinez.
Nothing to report.
We do have agenda items, I believe.
You want them to move? Ready to move?
No, just say agenda items.
Agenda
only.
items only then.
Okay, thank you. Curriculum and Technology, Dr. Webb.
Agenda items only.
Okay, Policy and Public Relations, Mr.
Agenda
Martinez.
Agenda items only.
Security and Safety, Mr. Ramadan.
Agenda items only.
Okay, Community Engagement, Mr. Matsko.
Agenda items only, please.
Okay, and Finance and Physical Plant, Mr. Matsko.
Yes, we met, went over billing, discussed the budget, and other than that, agenda items, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for state and county, we do have a county meeting coming up on Monday, December 9th. It's going to be a hybrid, so you can attend in person or online. It's 7 to 8:30 is the meeting portion of the gathering. And the topic is harnessing the power of public relations, social media, and tech. So it sounds like a very robust topic, a good topic. If anyone is interested, I recommend you, and I encourage you to attend. Some additional programming. NJSBA has some webinars coming up, a fall legislative update on November 27th. A webinar, these are all webinars, Bridging Language Gaps in New Jersey Education on December 2nd. And then there's some live virtual mandated training. So if anyone is in need of getting their mandated training done and they want to do it virtually, there are some dates coming up in January, and I think they just posted the January dates. So Lois just forwarded a meeting today forwarded an email today with some of those events posted. So if you need the registration link or anything like that, just check your email from today from Lois. And then just moving on, Mr. Merlino, any report?
Nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's go back now. Personnel and management, Mr. Martinez.
Let's move 7.1 through 7.8, please.
Second.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Martinez, seconded by Dr. Webb. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado,
Yes.
Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell,
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan.
Yes.
Dr. Webb,
Yes.
Mrs. Zisser.
Yeah, I just did have one question about 7.5, the winter ball. I wanted to know what grade that was for.
I'll file. Is this the Certified Angels or is this our dance?
It sounds like a dance.
Yeah,
It says-
let me, I'll get the board that information. I believe it's the middle school, but I don't want to say anything for certain, but I'll email the board that tomorrow.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, and then I vote yes. Okay, so curriculum and technology, Dr. Webb.
Yes, I have a question on 8.3. It looks like we're projecting 90 students for the next school year. Does that include all of the students that would potentially?
So that's a great question. So we have to tell the state what we're wanting it, but we haven't had anyone advance or tell us. We don't even know how many, 4-year-olds are going to be next year. So 90s are our placeholder that we're putting in. If when we open this up in February, right, and then we get, all of February, the community has to indicate their desire for a preschool. When we get to March, if we see that the numbers are much higher than we expect, then we can always make an amendment and look to add another 15 students on there. But this is more just a placeholder than anything.
Right. Okay, this question. So what was the last year?
Last year, I believe we started the year with 75, and then we ended up moving to 90 because I think in November we opened up that last section. Now that the construction's done, it's nice to know that every 4-year-old in Hamlin got a spot this year. That hasn't happened before, right? So I think the board should be real proud of that, and we'll just continue to monitor the trends. But that's kindergarten and preschool the toughest to predict because we don't know for sure how many's coming in a given year.
Mm-hmm.
Just on my behalf, I'd like to say thank you for all the work that we've done as a board towards this.
You guys did, yep.
Yeah, definitely proud of this moment. So I'd like to move 8.1 through 8.4.
Second. Maxwell.
Okay, so moved by Dr. Webb and seconded by Motzko. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado,
Yes.
Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell.
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan,
Yes.
Dr. Webb,
Yes.
and Mrs. Zisser.
Yes. Okay, now going down to 10 security and safety. Did we have that committee meeting?
Yeah,
or-
I'll talk about that. The committee wasn't able to meet, but the only thing that's changed is as far as what the board voted to approve last year and this year is, we have a new assistant principal, so that name, but 2 new assistant principals, so those names changed. But everything fundamentally was kept the same, and having a school security plan that is used, like we saw this weekend, it's a valuable resource to have.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So I think we can vote on this. Let's see, Mr. Ramadan, can you move?
Motion to move 10.1.
Webb.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Ramadan and seconded by Dr. Webb. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Matzo?
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan?
Yes.
Dr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Zissou.
Yes. Okay, jumping down to finance and physical plant, Mr. Motzko.
Like to move 12.1 through 12.28.
Martinez.
It's my birthday.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Motzko and seconded by Mr. Martinez. Roll call, please.
Ms. Quadrado?
I'd like to abstain from 12.3 expenditures 71180 and 12.23 PO purchase order 500431.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Oh, otherwise, yes.
Oh. That's true. Let me check one thing. So there was an abstention. Mr. Matzo?
Yes.
Mr. Ramadan?
Yes.
Dr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Zissou.
Yes. Okay. So do we have any new or old business?
I just have one thing, Ms. Isa.
Yep.
And that's just to inform the board that now that the construction is finally done and the library is now a library / media center again, we're going to look to hold the December board meeting and then subsequent board meetings back into the library.
Okay, that sounds great. And you know, that space is a little more it's closer, it's a little more intimate. So, you know, I think that's a nice space and I'm glad that we'll be back there.
Yeah, and I think it'll help too for the viewers from home. Like the audio is going to be a lot better down there. So I think the overall service will be better down there.
Yeah, agree. Okay, great. Anything else? Okay, then can I have a motion to open the floor to citizens on operation of schools?
Martinez.
Moxel.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Martinez and seconded by Mr. Motzko. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the floor is open to citizens. Please, if you speak, state your name, your address, and you'll have 3 minutes. I can't see if there's anybody there, but if there's anybody there that would like to speak first, and if not, anybody online?
Hi, John Coviello, 70 Church Street.
How you doing, John?
Hi, Mr. Coviello, go ahead.
I just wanted to stop by and show our support for the Eldon Public School community. On behalf of the board president, Manchester Regional High School District, sends her condolences from overseas, and on behalf of the entire school community, there's nothing worse than losing a child. And know that you know, we are also deeply affected. Many of our students know the student, siblings at our school, and so we've mobilized as well. And you know, we support all of you here in the Eldon community. The last thing I'll just say is that we have supports and personnel available as well if the need arises. So, Mr. Walker, if you need any additional personnel power, we can certainly spare folks tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Coviello. Just a reminder for anybody online who would like to speak, please use the hand feature to raise your hand so that you can be unmuted. Is there anybody else there, either in person or online?
I
Motion
don't
closed.
see anybody.
Okay, so there's nobody. Okay, all right, then can I have a motion to close the floor?
Martinez.
Moxel.
I think I heard moved by Mr. Martinez and seconded by Mr. Motzko. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, before we adjourn, I just want to wish everyone a safe and, you know, good Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family and friends, and we will see you back next week. Be well, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Lisa.
Motion to close?
Good night. A motion to close. I'm sorry, can I have a motion to close?
Martinez.
Moxel.
Moved by Mr. Martinez, seconded by Mr. Motzko. Lamika, do I have to do roll call or all in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.